In the heart of Texas, where the winds dance with the tumbleweeds and dreams are as vast as the open sky, Bill's Bumblerooski's story began. As a kid in rural Texas, his backyard, a makeshift gridiron, was where Bill's love for football took root. But Bill wasn't your typical quarterback prospect. Standing at just 5'11" with a build more akin to a fullback, he was an unpolished gem in a field of polished stone. But Great Plains High School, an institution more familiar with underdog stories than national titles, became Bill's unexpected home. Donning the maroon and gold, Bill faced new challenges. His dyslexia made playbook studying an uphill battle, and his first year was spent in the shadows, redshirting and honoring his craft under the stadium lights. But Bill's break came in his junior season. A string of injuries to the starting lineup opened the door for Bill. With his unconventional prowess, he stepped in that season and took your Prairie Dogs to an unlikely bowl game. And off the field, Bill was just another student, but under the stadium lights, he was a maestro of the gridiron. Each play was a story in itself, a dance with destiny where every stumble could lead to a stride. With enough being said, in Bill's first senior year game, he got player of the game and absolutely went nuts, with getting interest offers in Tulsa, UTSA, and Utah. On to our next game, and after Bill Bumblerooski absolutely went insane the first game, he was on campus, and I mean everyone's like, Billy, I love you, man. Thank you for bringing finally a great quarterback to Great Plains High School. And with Bill being a quiet guy, he kind of just waved his hand and waved him off and said, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. For Bill Bumblerooski, each game was a testament to his resilience. Against the odds, Bill plays was often chaotic, had moments of brilliance. It was during the game against their rivals, LaPorte, that Bill's legend status began to take place. But after that big hit, coach was upset with that offensive line. But on 2nd and 11, Bill was sitting in the pocket, and he did an unbelievable rollout and threw it to his tight end, and the tight end gave all praises to the Most High. But on 1st and 10, Bill Bumblerooski threw that pass all the way down the field, and the tight end could and he would go all the way for 6, and he was absolutely fired up. But as you can see, Bill Bumblerooski is player of the game with 7 total TDs and finally picks up his first offer from UTSA. After receiving an offer from the University of Texas at San Antonio, following his second game and being rated as a 2-star recruit, Bill Bumblerooski found himself at the crossroads. This moment for Bill was more than just an acknowledgement of his potential. It was a validation of his unorthodox journey in football. Bill, known for his unique blend of raw talent and erratic play, had always carried an underdog mentality, and this opportunity presented a glimpse into a future he had only dared to dream about. Despite Bill's growing reputation as a quarterback who could turn any play into electric fine play, Bill remained grounded. He knew his style wasn't traditionally appealing on top-tier college programs, which often look for more polished players. Being recognized as a 2-star recruit and receiving an offer from a respectable program like UTSA was an affirmation of his hard work and a testament to his resilience on the field. Mr. Bumblerooski did not give up. He got player of the game with 6 total TDs and picks up offers from Texas, Notre Dame, Alabama, and Arizona State. After Bill's Bumblerooski's offer started to flow in, Bill began to dedicate more time to his studies, seeking help where needed. He attended tutoring sessions, worked closely with his teachers, and started to balance his time more efficiently between football and academics. This period was a significant growth for Bill. As he started to understand the value of education and shaping his future, his teammates noticed the change in him too. The same perseverance and resilience he showed in games were now evident in his approach to his studies. Bill was taking over high school football as he gets player of the game with 7 total TDs and picks up another scholarship offer from UCLA. What a day to be alive. On into our next game against TC High School, it's time for Bill Bumblerooski to become the #1 player in the nation. And as you can see on 1st and goal, Bill will take it in for 6, and he was absolutely fired up with his teammate, and he said, I'm gonna take over. But on 2nd and 14, as you can see, Bill Bumblerooski will roll out of that pocket, throw a pass deep, and he will catch it, and he could and he would go all the way to the crib. But as you can see on 1st and 10, Bill was sitting in that pocket. He's not scared to sit in the pocket and absolutely take a hit, so he threw another dot. And I think we have the best defense in the nation, but on 1st and goal, Bill Bumblerooski bounces it outside and goes in with another rushing TD. But as you can see on 2nd and 10, he was sitting in that pocket ready to strike a dot, and he throws a dot to the running back. But as you can see, we go on and win another game. Bill gets player of the game again with 6 total TDs and picks up another offer from Washington. On to our next game as Bill Blumberooski geared up for his 6th game against Caddy High School. His status had evolved dramatically. He was no longer just an unpredictable quarterback with the knack of turning chaos into touchdown. Bill was now the centerpiece of his high school, a shining star whose gravitational pull was felt both on and off the field. His transformation wasn't limited to the gridiron. Academically, Bill had made remarkable strides. From the student who once struggled to meet the academic standards of top football programs, Bill had became a model of being a scholar. Maintaining a 3.0 GPA, this academic turnaround was a source of pride for his coaches, teachers, and especially his parents, who saw their son embrace the role of a student athlete with full commitment. This game right here, only being the 6 games, Bill Blumberooski's rise was incredible. He is now a 5-star recruit, a status that will put him on the radar of every major college football program in the country. With Bill being so humble, we're up 42-0. He said, "Coach, do not take me out of the game. I want to run the score up." He gets player of the game with 7 total TDs and picks up a crazy offer from TCU. On to our next game. Game 7 was not just another game. It was a defining moment for Bill Blumberooski and his team. The opponent, Deer Park High School, was known for its robust defense and strategic gameplay. This game was billed as a clash of titans, a true test of mettle for the now re-owned Blumberooski. Bill is now the legend at his high school, but as you can see on 1st and 10, he rolls out of that pocket and he will go in for 6 early on. And he was hype. He said, "Yes, sir. Y'all boys gonna feel me." He gives the ball to Alex Howell for a 4-yard TD run. But on 1st and 10, we're up 35-6. And as you can see, I roll out of the pocket, and every time the defense gives up, and I just throw a dot. But as you can see, sitting in the pocket on 1st and 10, I run it right up the middle and could go in for 6. And I said, what are they doing out there? Bill Blumberooski is just taking over, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that defense liked it at all. They came and sacked me, but I get player of the game, 6 total TDs, and an offer from Wake Forest. Bill Blumberooski takes GP High School to the playoffs since 1967, and this is crazy. Bill Blumberooski is taking over, and as you can see, this is the playoffs. It's either win or go home, and we're not gonna lose. And on 1st and 10, that is a Pat Mahomes play. Oh my God! But on 1st and goal, Bill Blumberooski was sitting in the pocket, but he likes to run that ball a lot, and he's gonna punch it in for 6. But on 1st and goal, he was sitting in that pocket, and he bounces it out again and throws an interception. The D lineman got it because he got hit, but Bill Blumberooski's not gonna give up on the play. He's gonna go get you and tackle you. That last play kind of startled Bill Blumberooski because that was only his 2nd interception of the season. But on 2nd and 2, he shook it off his shoulder and threw it Dr. Ostrander. But on 1st and 10, he was sitting in the pocket, and he has the greatest O-line in the country, but he throws another TD, and on 1st and 10, he's sitting back there for days and throws another dot. He gets player of the game with 8 total TDs and picks up an offer from Wisconsin. On to our next game against Caddy isn't promised. We could lose and we could go home, but Bill Blumberooski's effort is not giving up. He is gonna punch it in with the first touchdown of the game. But on 2nd and goal, Bill Blumberooski runs outside and throws it back inside to his wide receiver. But on 1st and 10, he was sitting in the pocket, and I think he has a problem sitting in that pocket now. He likes to roll out. I think he got a little addicted to it. With it being 14-0 already, coach said if we run the score up, he's going to take me out the game early to save me for that national championship. But on 2nd and goal, Bill Blumberooski runs in with another rushing TD and gives it off to Alex Howell for another one. It is now 35-0, and I need like one more touchdown for coach to take me out of the game. But I will roll out of the pocket and throw it to my teammate Howell, and he goes in for 6. But I get player of the game with 5 total TDs, and we are headed to the national championship. And Bill Blumberooski picks up an offer from Baylor. Night of the championship game was a game for the ages. As the teams warmed up, the array of college coaches lining the sidelines was a testament to the magnitude of the game. And with Bill Blumberooski being that spotlight and being the one that coaches come up to and say, "You're that 5-star quarterback out of Texas." And Bill Blumberooski said, "Yes, sir, it is, because I do things like this. I break tackles and find open receivers down the field, and I never give up on plays, and I'm going to stay humble because I want a championship and I want to move my family out of the place that we are in now." But he almost throws an interception. But on 2nd and 1, Bill Blumberooski will go outside and go in for 6. But on 1st and 10, it is 17-0, and Bill Blumberooski said, "I want to run it," and he dives, and he was short. But on 1st and goal, he said, "I'm going to run it outside," and I'm fired up. With it already being 24-0 in the game, coach said, I'm going to try to get some of these backups in. So he takes me out of the game. Bill Blumberowski is player of the game with 5 total TDs, picks up an offer from Texas Tech, and he is now faced with the biggest decision of his life. With all the trials and tribulations that he went through, he is going to commit to the first school that offered him, UTSA. Bill Blumberowski's commitment to the University of Texas at San Antonio was a decision led by loyalty and gratitude. UTSA was the first school to see his potential and offer him a spot. Arriving at UTSA, he was initially named the second string quarterback, a position that might have disheartened others, but only fueled Bill's determination. But his transition from high school stardom to college football brought new challenges. The game was faster, the players were bigger, and the strategies more complex, yet Bill, with his unshakable spirit, took to the field with the same passion and hard work that had defined his journey so far. During today's practice session, Bill's unique blend of raw talent and relentless determination quickly caught the eye of his coaches and all of his teammates. And he wasn't just another freshman, he was a player that could turn his program around. So coach said, with that being said, Saturday, you're gonna start. Saturday's game loomed ahead, a new test in Billy's journey. But for Blumberowski Bill, every challenge was an opportunity, every play a chance to prove that heart and hard work could get over any obstacle that you want to get over in life. And Bill Blumberowski came out this game against UNM very intense and ready to strike anybody. He was throwing that ball down the field so hard and not playing with anyone, but he will get a fullback to dive for the first touchdown of the game. But on 1st and 10, he throws a dot to his wide receiver and he drops the ball. But on 1st and 10, he gets sacked, and this O-line, he kind of got to get the connection with him. You know, he doesn't have the connection. He comes from one of the top 5 O-lines in high school, and this is the worst team in almost college football, so he has to bring them back to history. But on 1st and 10, he takes it to the house, and he was absolutely fired up. But on 2nd and 10, he gets sacked again. Bill Blumberowski is not used to getting put on that ground, but he's used to getting back up and fighting adversity. And on 3rd and 18, he throws a dot, a miracle way to put it in there. And on 3rd and 18, we will go convert for more than just a first down. But on 2nd and 10, as you can see, Bill Blumberowski runs that ball outside. He could and he would run out of bounds. He almost ran it in for 6, but on 2nd and goal, he gives it to his running back for 6. And as you can see, we have a read option and he gives it back to Smith for another TD. With this being Bill Blumberowski's first win, drop in the comments down below if you enjoyed this video, and also, will Bill Blumberowski turn this program around?